This is my first video I've ever posted or made regarding my woodworking, and a couple of weeks ago I posted on one of my social media groups that I'm part of about my homemade air filter, and it was very positive, my feedback, and I tried to answer any questions I had as best I can. And one of the things was, did I have a build video about how I did it and details of the filters and fans I used, and I tried to answer as best I could in the comments, but I thought maybe a video would help and clarify a few things. And also, I've used it for a little while now, and although very effective, there are some adjustments I'm going to make, and I'm going to talk through that a little bit as well. Okay, so I shall carry on. Okay, so the homemade air filter I made, it was literally just out a couple of offcuts that I had kicking around. The most expensive part of the build was the fan itself. I shall detail some links about that if people want them. And as I say, I'm quite happy with how it has performed. I shall open it up. And you can instantly see the difference of the dust in the filter material compared to the clean filter material, which is behind the frame. So that's just a piece of electrical filter panel medium. Just buy this online, eBay, Amazon, I think you'd probably get it from. That's because it comes on a big sheet and you cut it to size. This is a fitted G4 filter medium, which that'll filter down to 10 microns. And again, you can see there's a lot of dust build up compared to like the opposite side, which is very clean. A lot of dust build up, and this has probably only had 5 or 6 hours use so far. So really pleased with how well it's sucking through. The main issue I've had, or changes I want to make, are on the other side. Let me flip it over. You can still see quite a lot of fine dust building up on the fan. So a lot of the commercial ones you buy, or off-the-shelf air filters you buy, have a coarse filter, and then they normally use a finer bag filter. And that's what I'm going to be detailing today in Air Filter Mark II. Now, I said I was going to fit a bag filter into my air filtration system, and you can buy them online, ready-made. They're not hugely expensive, but I try and keep costs down, and because some people may not be able to afford expensive filters and I don't want them hanging around at the workshop getting dusty while they're not being used, I've decided to make my own filter. How I'm going to do it is I'm going to cut the frame for the filter out of just an offcut ply, and the main bag element for the filter is going to be a Henry HEPA-Flow bag. I don't think these will be quite as effective as a true HEPA filter, which will filter down to 0.3 microns, but I did a bit of research online, and some sites say these will filter down to 0.5 microns, which is a lot finer than the 10 microns of the G4 panel filter. So I won't film making it because it'll probably get a bit boring, and I shall pick up once I've got all the bits cut. Okay, carrying on where I left off, I cut the frame out of a piece of, let's say, plywood I had lying around, 2 holes to make the bag filter where they're going to go in, and this is one I've done earlier. I've just stapled it into place. It's a 2-dimensional bag, hasn't got a gusset in it, but they're quite large, so they've got plenty of room to open them up and to create an area where the dust will court. So I've made one from one side. I shall do the second one. That was cut off just below the opening. which gives plenty of space. And that's going to go through there. Okay, so that's stapled in despite the issues with the staple gun. And I'll just trim off any excess material so that doesn't interfere with the other panel filter going in over the top. Okay, so we have a homemade bag filter. Now I'm going to have to adjust the size of the unit to so the bags have room to expand when the fan is drawing through. So that's going to have to get adjusted, and that'll be following. Okay, so this is the second Mark II version air filter finished. There's no complex joinery in here. It is literally just 4 sheets of plywood screwed into a box. A front, that's got the cutout for the fan, and a little door at the back which hinges up so you can change filters easily. The filters literally just slot in. And this is the homemade bag filter that comes out there. I did put some plywood battening in, and all that is for the filters to rest up against, like so. I was made out of a bit of off-cut ply I had lying around, but you could simply use a bit of plain square edge or literally whatever you've got lying around. And there's the gap in there is just to allow for the bag to expand. That once it's pushed in there like that, then the G4 filter in, followed by that media. I'll need 2 hands for that one. The other thing I modified on this was, on the previous version, it was literally just hung off 2 little L brackets, screwing straight into one of my joists in the workshop. Obviously, it's now bigger, a bit heavier. That I thought might cause problems trying to hold it up and screw it in at the same time. So I put a couple of hooks in the corners, and then they will hook into some chain which I've just screwed into one of the joists. So I'll get it hung up and we'll see how it looks. Okay, that's the new air filter in position. Off some chain onto the joists. The cable I just hooked around there and cable tied to its conduit, and it just plugs in behind that piece of MDF. And that is about it. We'll switch it on. And still a good amount of air getting drawn through that. I did wonder how that would, putting the new filters in would affect it, but it seems to still have quite a good amount coming through. Really pleased with that. Hopefully that's been helpful to some people. Okay, so that concludes the Mark II air filter build. I hope some people found it helpful and maybe inspire them to do their own. I'm sort of sure that I'll probably get a few comments saying, "Oh, why don't you just go and buy one?" I said earlier in the video, it's a costing possibly. There's some people might not be able to afford an air filtration unit. At the time of posting this video, the cheapest I found was about the £170 mark. This, all in all, will probably come to less than half of that for the entire build. A lot of it was made with just bits and pieces I had lying around, and for me personally, the actually making it and messing around with little projects like this is half the enjoyment, which I'm sure a lot of you will find as well. So, as I say, hopefully it helped. I probably apologise for the maybe the video is a little bit unpolished, first video, so be kind. As I say, hope you enjoyed, hope you found it was instructional. Any comments, good or bad, leave them. Thank you very much.